Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I just didn't hear you come in.
I got a backup recording going.
There we go. See, that's all we need, right?
I think.
Oh, am I quiet or is I just not on the mic? Is that
There you
better?
go. Now you're
Okay.
on the mic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
good
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. The mic was like on the other side of the desk.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, it does.
I don't even have a desk. I have a
But
suitcase.
oh, I learned something today though. Apparently, if I have a channel on the board panned hard to the right, it will not go through the aux send.
That seems weird.
Uh, Yes and no, because you got to remember the aux send is mono. Well, yeah, that does seem weird. Huh. Maybe I'm not actually. No, I am going to the aux send. Well, the groups. But, anyways, it works now. So,
Well, it's a good discovery for the behavior of that board, but it's to me that it is at least unexpected. Like I
yeah.
would expect because I'm sending audio, like you're gonna send it however I send it, and when you pan something in mono, it just doesn't pan.
Yeah, that is true. I'm wondering if it's sending the audio somewhere else, but I don't know. Not a deal for me to figure out, although I was starting to freak out there for a minute because I was doing some testing and I'm like, oh wait, oh man, this channel's not working, but this one is sending, so it's not the aux send or yeah. So I was concerned, and then you said you didn't hear it, and I'm like, what is different? And the only thing that was different was I had JAWS in my right ear instead of in most of both of my ears because I've been playing with GitHub Copilot. And while I'm working on one machine, checking out a cool website I'm going to share with you in a few minutes, I want to use the Windows computer and be able to monitor what's going on. And yeah, the best way to do that is to pan my audio to one of the sides.
Hey, that works. That's what I used to do.
Yeah, yeah. And
You
it
know,
and it's
pan one
consistent.
computer to one ear and the other computer to the other ear.
Promptboost.dev. You should check it out when you get time because it is pretty cool. And it was created by VS Code developers and does just what it says. It boosts your prompts for coding. So I had a screw up.
Wow.
Uh,
I don't think I've ever been here before, but I typed in prompt and it was trying to take me to awesome AI prompts, which is a
yeah.
GitHub project. As soon as I hit the letter B, it was like prompt boost AI. I don't
You
recall
don't
ever
want
hearing
AI, you
this
want
before.
.dev.
Ah, okay. So that's,
I don't know what .ai is, but yeah, .dev.
oh no, it's actually a .com, but yeah,
Oh,
it's not
okay. Yeah, good. At least it's not autofilling predictions of things you haven't gone to yet. Like that's
I don't think I've been to that .com though. All right, prompt boost VS code powered extensions.
yeah, it's
AI
pretty cool.
powered VS code extensions. That's when you
Yeah,
get all
and
that
AI
crap.
built that site too. Of course it did.
Yeah, what ain't AI doing these days?
So I screwed up. I built this scheduling tool. We've talked about this, right? The scheduling tool. I think we did.
I mean, what are we have definitely spoken about the scheduling tool.
Okay.
The confusion is going to come in here is, do you mean, did we talk about something new that has changed
Oh no,
personally
just in
or,
general. Just in
oh,
general. Cause
we absolutely talked about it on the show. Like
okay.
it's a long running segment. If
Okay.
we were more professional, we would have like a little jingle that played and said, community builder update, or I
Yeah.
don't know. We would do a
I
thing with some AI music, but we're not that show. So
I am lovingly calling it Builder. Just because Bob the Builder. Builder. I should get a picture of like Bob. Something like that. Yeah. So I use
So,
Builder.
hold on. Wait a minute. No, I can't let that pass. Hold on. All right. So first off, super kids, like, ask your parents. But it's funny because Mike is we're just generally generationally separated enough that for me, the builder person or that similar character to Bob the Builder was oh, man, Handy Mandy, I think.
mm, mm. Yeah, I remember that. Well, I don't
But
remember Mandy,
literally for
but
me though, actually, when I think tool guy, for me
Tim.
growing up, yep.
Yep. Yep.
Tim
Yep.
the
Me
tool,
too.
more
Me too.
power, more power.
Tim the Toolman Taylor. Man.
Yep.
Oh, I should go stream that show. It has AD now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 95% sure it does. So if I verify that, I'll let you know for sure. But I'm pretty sure it does. If only there was a website I could go take a look at while we're talking and verify that information. But Builder is what I call it. I used it last week. Well, I guess yeah, last week because as we record this, it is the
Saturday. So
current
by the time
Saturday.
this is released, so you did use it as you mentioned that in the last show that you were going to try to use it in parallel with your normal routine just to see if there were any conflicts.
In parallel with my normal routine. That's what I forgot.
Wait, so you ran the builder and you didn't build the
Uh-huh.
stuff normally?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Turned into a big mess on Thursday. Just saying. But, but the positive side of things is the world kept moving, A, and B, I have fixed a lot of stuff that I would not have anticipated happening until I totally messed everything up. Like it's one of those you take a hammer to a project to figure out what it is you're going to break and then go fix it all. Because yeah. One of the things that wasn't working properly is events weren't listed alphabetical during the hour. Now that's fixed. It was duplicating some events. Now that's fixed. It's added extra spaces. Now that's fixed. It assigned some meetings to the wrong Zoom rooms, which I understand how that happened now that that happened and it's fixed. So, for the first instance, it was a very aggravating and long Thursday. We'll just leave it at that, which kind of bled over into Saturday because of some stuff that's dependent on the schedules that I was generating, kind of getting a little messed up and the things just didn't quite work out on Saturday like they should have. However, I now have the tool. I think next Thursday it'll be a lot cleaner of an. Well, I know it'll be a lot cleaner of an experience. I You were going to send me a podcast because I think I really need to listen to it. Because anytime I fix something, I want to go add three or four new features. And I just need to stop adding things to it and start fixing more. But so that's what I've done over the last couple of days. It's just stopped adding things, fixed more stuff. And now I can generate the schedule and our hosting portal and the on my radar, probably not this coming week because I want to get a successful week with the tool. But on my radar is coming up and getting it. So eventually it'll be able to push the scheduling portal live into Google Sheets. And now I think I have a path for making that happen after we successfully run it and get the information like we normally use it. And then we can take a next step and automate it. And I don't know, man. It's addictively fun, but I need to be careful. It's a slippery slope that I could easily slide down, and turns into missed family time or too much time on the computer working on projects because you're like, oh, let me just get this problem fixed, and then of course another one arises, and then you check the time and it's like 2:30 in the morning. You're like, oh, I was supposed to go to bed like 4 hours ago. So that's where we are as of right now.
that is the developer problem. Like there are many nights, not here recently, but there are many nights in the past where like I was up at 2, 3, and like you said, you look at the time and you're like, man, I should have been in the bed like hours ago. But you're working on a thing and it's working. And for me, it was before the advent of large language models. Just web searching and try this code and digging in
Mm.
forums and reading through threads. So like the time is still spent. And I think that's one thing that I have. So one thing I've come to realize, and there's an interesting discussion probably about 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Could be wrong. Could have been a week ago, but I think it's like 2 weeks ago. Daily Tech News, where they were looking at the outcome of a sort of brief kind of survey slash test of people using AI for coding. You still spend the similar amount of time, I would say, as doing something from scratch in a lot of cases. And what I've come to learn with using some of the LLMs to do certain tasks is like I still take time, but it does shorten a lot of the tediousness of
Yes.
it for me. Like instead of me doing the tedious research and then trying to correlate that information together, the LLM can correlate all that information for me. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of, fact checking or verification, or in the case of programming, testing, like write tests.
Hmm.
So I think in the short term, because we don't know what the long term of this is going to look like, but I think in the short term, it's still I think in the short term, this is still a productivity boost because while the LLM is plugging away at whatever task I set it or deep research is doing, I'm off doing something else instead of doing that research. Or I'm off, handling other things or washing dishes, whatever the case may be, right? While it's working away at writing some code and going through some steps I have given it to build the thing. So I still think it is a plus. I just like I think you get, and I think just a lot of people don't get, is the LLMs are great for a lot of different tasks. It's just not a silver bullet. Like it's not
Yeah.
instantly solvable, right? Like, it doesn't just solve all your problems. Unlike
No,
Gravity
it
Forms,
gives you
which
different
does solve all
problems.
your problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Gravity form solves all your problems. Although now I can reorganize form fields on gravity forms independently.
Oh man. So do we want to tell people about that?
Yeah, I've been talking about it.
Oh, all right. So Mike sent me a beta. Wait, is this a beta? What is it?
Yeah, it's an invite only beta from
Okay.
Perplexity.
All right. So Perplexity has released their Comet browser, and Mike was kind enough to spend one of his invites on me. And then I called Mike after I tried it out for about, I don't know, 2 minutes. I was like, Mike, yeah, it kind of did a thing and it did this thing. And yeah, I went back to Safari. And Mike was like, yeah, I did the same thing.
Yep, that was our whole
But
conversation.
in the course of that conversation, we started talking about like ways that maybe it could be useful. And Mike came up with an idea that I actually didn't have myself. Like Mike actually came up with this idea while we were talking, and then he went and tested it, and it worked. Because the because Perplexity is able to interact with the DOM and with the web page, um, Mike was able to do a thing that we have been seriously trying to solve for, I don't know,
10
27
years at least.
years with Gravity Force,
Yep.
which is, I added these fields and I need to move them because they're not in the order that they should be.
Or the
Usually
client
this
changed their
result,
mind, which is usually
yeah,
what
that's
happens.
what I was about to say. Usually this results from a client changing their mind. Like, you're working on a website for a person. It's like, oh no, can you put the phone number field before the email? It's like, son of a bitch, you know how much time this is going to take. Hey.
And that
Yeah,
was before Ira. Oh.
right. Way before. Oh man, before I was probably a glimmer in somebody's eye. But walk people just kind of on a high level, like through that process and what you did. So if they do or are able to get an invite to Perplexity, or when it's generally available, like some things they may think about. You may not be a Gravity Forms user, but I think Mike's experience absolutely is reproducible in different situations that will solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, so I went to Comet, and that's the browser that we use. Well, that we were playing with. And what Comet is a Chromium-based browser, which means that it can work a lot like a regular web browser. But when you go into Comet, you have a couple of, and I'm going to describe this from the Mac because that's what I did it on. I have the page that I am on, and I can interact with that page. Instead of that taking me straight to the HTML content, I'm on a section here that has the name of the page that I'm on, and then it has memory usage, new tab, and then something called Neptune, and then a element that says toolbar item palette. If you interact with toolbar item palette, or a faster way to get there is to hit Command L, because this is where you get back, forward, reload, enable voice dictation. $1. What is that? I don't know about that noise. And then you have the address bar. And then there's a button at the end of this toolbar, which is called Assistant. There's also a voice mode button. I wonder if they charge me $1 for that too. Maybe that's just label errors or something. But
I don't think that's a label error.
on this screen, you also can summarize the current page or copy URL with Command Shift C. And so there's a lot of function in here, and it sounds busy, but when you're on the Mac, it's really not, because you just stop interacting with that toolbar, and then you view a right arrow to the HTML area with the web page. So I wanted to give that to you because so what I did is I loaded a form in the editor in Gravity Forms. And then I hit that assistant button, which was up in that toolbar. And that put me in what is now constantly showing on my screen is another HTML edit, or an HTML box that is a conversation with Perplexity, and where I can type to Perplexity. And if you interact with this, you have an edit box that says assistant, and you can hit Command K to start a new thread. When you get to the edit box, you can type and tell it to do things. So it says ask anything, but what I asked it to do is, can you reorganize these form fields in Gravity Forms? And Damashe might remember this. Actually, I said, can you move the phone field above the email field in Gravity Forms? I think is exactly what I said. I sent that, and my first response to Damashe was, well, that was cool, but it didn't work, or something to that nature. And then I said, well, let me try this again. And I reworded the prompt, and I said, can you move the phone field on this Gravity Form editor page above the email field? And then I hit enter, and then it went off and did its thing for a little bit. I'm sorry, someone's playing basketball outside, so that threw me off.
What? Just top of night?
Yeah. All right.
Mike lives next to the next LeBron James.
Maybe.
The kids don't know Michael Jordan. Carry on, man.
Anyways, and so when I went and did that and I typed that in, it did its own magical thing. It went quiet for a minute, and then I checked it, and it had moved the form fields for me without any problems. So that is a brief explanation of how I was able to get
also click the save button to save those changes, which was probably to me at least, the most amazing thing. It's like,
right?
You automatically saved it for me too. Good deal.
But think about it this way. Something you could do with this is you could say, hey, go, because it's in the browser, so it can do research for you. You can say things like, hey, go check and see what the cheapest flight is from Eugene, Oregon to Long Beach, California for the week of the CSUN conference in 2026. And then the browser itself will go search and say, when is the CSUN conference of 2026?
That is so very specific. I'm assuming Mike must have done this.
Maybe. When is the CSUN conference of 2026? What are the flight or the airlines that fly that particular route? What are the pricing? What day should we get there? And which one's the cheapest? And it can go and do all that logical thinking. I am intrigued. It is not my primary browser, but I could definitely see where
it really wants to be, though.
It does. I don't know what Perplexity is doing with my data, though. Would you let OpenAI have a browser on your computer? And would you use it as your primary browser?
I probably would never use it as my primary browser.
Yeah. What if it
Well, I
worked
won't
better
say
than
never.
Safari?
I won't say never, but
Yeah.
I probably would be very slow to switch to it as my primary browser, simply because one. So actually, my primary browser on my computer is open in. So whenever I try to click on a link, I get the open end to pop up, and it's like, which browser do you want to open this in? Because, well, sometimes I know instinctually that this is not going to work in Safari, so I need to launch Chrome or Firefox. So I really want to focus on that topic, but I got a whole side note conversation here to have. So
Oh.
we're talking about CSUN 2026.
Uh-huh.
You have been to CSUN, is it twice now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hotels better, or would you consider doing like an Airbnb for that week?
Hotels because it's right there. Airbnb, you're
Ah,
going to have to rely on Uber, and who knows what expenses that could incur. And a lot of the things, a lot of the networking I found happens while you're hanging out in the hallway at your hotel. And if you're not headed towards your hotel room and you're headed towards an Uber, then that might lessen the networking opportunity. But if you can
yeah,
get a
because
few of you together,
you
you
do
could.
run into random people in the hallway who are lost, and you find out, oh, you work there, huh? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to meet you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there. That makes sense. I am low level planning my 2026 appearance at CSUN.
Ah, okay. Okay. We should talk about that because it's interesting you bring that up. A few of us were looking at Airbnbs.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Like I was talking to somebody else about it. I was like, it would make sense in a lot of ways. It would be cheaper
Hmm.
potentially for like
Hmm.
just conventions, like, national conventions. The only problem is like for me at NFB, I'm working. And I think for NFB conventions, it won't be a thing I'll ever try unless I'm just attending as or any, NFB, ACB, whatever. Like I wouldn't do it unless I'm attending as an attendee.
Hmm. Hmm.
From there as an exhibitor, as I have been at NFB for the past 3 years, it makes more sense to just stay at the hotel because shorter trip to get to the exhibit hall. Which means
Yeah.
I get to sleep a little longer before I have to get up to go to the exhibit hall versus, I got to get up and
And if you
get
forget your card reader
situated.
in your room, you can just run back to
You
your
can just
room
run back to
versus,
your room, right?
yeah.
That's another thing I
Yeah.
brought up too. It's like, oh, if you forget a thing in your room, you just run back to your room. Whereas,
Yeah.
yeah, the Airbnb that's 5 miles away is like, yeah, it's just there. Like, there's nothing to do about that.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, we should definitely talk about that because I have been thinking about CSUN would be interesting to attend, and also some ways to potentially make it a little cheaper
Mm.
because California ain't cheap.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. See, if you got an Airbnb and then you just ordered food and you made sure your Airbnb had a grill, then you're good to go, right?
Right. See, it's like you was reading my mind, dude. That's kind of actually what I outlined to Tia at one point. I was like, get Airbnb, and then I would, instead of DoorDash and stuff, you just go, do an Instacart delivery or Sam's Club delivery or something or
Yep.
whatever. Get food in the house, and then you're cooking.
Yep. Yep. And invite people over to your Airbnb so you can network there.
Yeah.
And then
Barbecue.
ish the environment. No ish. Yeah.
Yeah. And you barbecue and, like tell people to come over and like they bring the drinks and then now you got your bar and everything's good, right?
Yep. Yep.
In
See?
theory, that should work.
Now, I did get to hang out with some technically working listeners at CSUN this year. So if
Oh,
you want
shout out to
Damashe to
them.
go to CSUN,
Go to technicallyworking.show and click on that support us link. That would greatly
I
help.
was going to say send us an email, but that works too.
That would greatly increase the possibilities of you potentially getting there because, nothing else I can show up to do content for the show. So there
Yeah.
we go.
Yep.
Shout out to our tip jar subscribers too. We appreciate you. Every last one of you. You're awesome. And feedback at technicallyworking.show if you just want to send an email like, yeah, we think you should come. Or
Yeah.
if you're going to be one of those people, nah, you should stay home, man. Don't come. See you.
I mean, don't pay for the conference, but go to the exhibits.
Yeah, that's the thing so I feel like at one point I understood the difference in what you just said. And like right at this particular moment, I don't.
Okay. So you can go to the exhibit hall for free. Like you don't have to pay and be a conference attendee to go to the exhibit hall. You can't go to the exhibit hall until Wednesday, which is what it's been in the past, unless you pay. If you pay, you get early access. If you pay to go to the conference, you get early access on Tuesday from like 4 to 6 p.m., where there's less people there because, again, it's only conference attendees that are there.
Gotcha.
And then Wednesday it opens up to the general public, and anyone from the public can come, which means that it's typically a lot more crowded as well. But the conference is still going on, and then you have Thursday and Friday as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've been
And the
going
reason I
to.
say you don't need to pay is the conference is like $500. And this is my personal opinion, not the opinion of any other organization, but uh I was underwhelmed with the conference material. If and I did not pay for the conference attendees attendance. Someone well, an organization paid for my attending of the conference, but it was a lot of what's coming up in these products or what's exciting about this. But if you're already in the tech industry, you've already been playing with these features for a couple of months. Like
Got you.
like teachers, I get why they might want it, or other people who don't do tech all day long. It's a great conference for them. But for me, it didn't really teach me anything that I was excited about. And it could have just been this year, I'm not sure, but I found that was a little bit of a disconnect there.
I could see that though, because I think with the conference itself, they're trying to talk to people who are not necessarily plugged in or connected in that space,
Mm.
right? So it would be a little repetitive or disinteresting simply because, like you said, you probably have already been playing with these features. And if there's any, bombshell announcement, you're probably going to bump into somebody in the hallway who's going to tell you about it. So, you will have heard about it from somewhere at some point. In my case, Mike will have called me and said, "Hey, did you know such and such is doing this thing?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then we'll talk about it for like 30 minutes and then, then spend $500 to hear somebody say, "Hey, we're doing such and such a thing." It's like, yeah, I knew about that last week.
So this year, I think the big thing was no, that was last year too, I think. Access AI. Was that this year from Ira? I don't remember.
What was last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was because Access AI and Alley. So I got on the test flight of Alley to play with that in like the week after CSUN, from JJ introducing me to someone, and he working for Envision is like, yeah, you can get on the beta. Let me get your name and email address. Actually, let me scan your badge, and then I'll add you. And that had the email address and contact details. So that was handy and a good opportunity. But I don't remember any of those experiences this year, like getting onto some pre-release stuff. I did get to check out Venkat, that's shipping now, by the way, but Venkatesh did let me put my hands on the Orbit player. So that was pretty cool to check that out prior to really anyone else getting to check it out, unless you were at CSUN. So that was, but again, there really wasn't a lot of huge announcements coming out of CSUN this year, like I feel like we've heard in the past as well.
Well, everybody was probably slowed down a bit because they were trying to figure out how to incorporate AI into their thing, and they hadn't figured it out by the time CSUN came up. So,
I think AI and budgets were substantially dampered this year as well, uh, because of political
reasons,
decisions.
political machinations, we'll say.
Yes, yes. So I think that was felt as well throughout the entire conference. But yeah, it'd be fun.
And also, eggs are
69 cents a
82
piece.
cents a piece. So,
Anywhere
it ain't
between
helping.
there.
Somewhere in there.
They were at $1 a piece at one point in the last 6 months. That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I still laugh when I think about the whole. I walked in the store to buy some pot, but I had to go to the streets to get some eggs. Like,
The time
man,
we
this
live
world
in.
is upside down. So I have started well, yesterday officially would have been the first day for this new employee. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about what happened with other people because, you find out things about people and people don't do what they're supposed to do and you got to move on. So that's that summary. But interestingly enough, I am in physical therapy um, for after the car wreck. So, like, I'm trying to get muscles and stuff back loosened up and things like that. So, I've been having to take Uber, well, taking lifts, and I've been taking Lyft more recently, mostly because DoorDash got me with their freaking $59 for a year deal of DoorDash. What is it called? Dash Pass.
Yeah, Dash Pass.
But if you link your Lyft account to your Dash Pass account, then you get extra 10% off of your Lyft rides. So I was like, yeah, I'm in for that. So on Monday of this the week that we're recording, which probably would have been the same day that Mike decided he was going to use the builder and not also in parallel do the normal thing. I had an appointment at physical therapy and I took a lift. Took a lift there, took a lift back. On the way back, I had a good conversation with the guy because not all rideshare drivers are equal. Not to say that they're necessarily bad. It's just some people you can have
Yeah.
a conversation with, some you can't. So on the way back, I had a great conversation with this guy about a variety of topics. But one of those was me asking, because I routinely ask this to people when we're having conversations, like, do you do anything else? Because in Atlanta, everybody that drove for Uber or Lyft, like, also did other stuff. I remember talking to
Okay.
a guy that was driving Uber in Atlanta, and he also had a real estate company that he was doing real estate.
Right.
He was a real estate agent, so he wasn't really, owning properties. He was just connecting people to sell properties or whatever. Uh, which also may be why I'm kind of slightly sour on the word agent when they're like, "Oh, GPT is going to do this agent thing." And it's like, yeah, agents usually get in the way of you trying to get to the person you need to get to.
Mhm.
They're like middlemen, they're trying to get their cut. Uh, but nevertheless, good conversation with the Lyft guy. One thing he pointed out to me, he said, "Hey, Uber has just cut their prices. Um, so maybe you should check with Uber the next time you gotta, go out
Oh,
because their prices may be a little cheaper now than what they were because they have cut their prices. He said, I know they've cut the rates for the pay for drivers because a lot of them are upset. He's like, they've cut their stuff like nearly in half, which has been confirmed by other Uber drivers because I took an Uber Wednesday. On the way over there, the lady that was driving me over there, I had a conversation where we was chit chatting, talking, and I asked her the same question, like, "Hey, what else do you do besides Uber, or is this just the only thing you do?"
yeah.
Like, "Oh yeah, I got, I do some stuff over here. I clean apartments during the summer, to get them cleaned up for new students coming in, yada yada yada." And so we got on to the vending thing, and I asked her like, "Well, hey, would you be interested in, potentially driving or something?"
Hmm.
So fast forward to Friday, I told her we'll come over Friday morning, be here at 7:30. She shows up at 7:23, which is,
Oh,
great.
that's nice. Were
So
you
for
were you excited or frustrated at her being early? Because I could imagine with
no,
previous
so I
experiences,
had
it
I
could
had the
be
same
easy.
reaction. I had the same reaction for the same reason you did it. Is why I mentioned the time specifically because to listeners, it's like, oh, okay, she was a little early. But Mike routinely has to listen to me bitch about this. Wait, I should say that a little differently. No, I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, Mike routinely hears this, so he knows one of the problems is like I tell you to be here at 7:30, and you show up at 8:15. Like, what
Right.
what is going on?
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
So the fact that she was 7 minutes before she was supposed to be here, and she actually texted me, whatever time she left, like, "Hey, I'm on the way." Like,
Huh.
hey, this is
That's
good. No,
nice.
I had
Okay.
the same reaction you did for the exact same reason, right? That's why I laugh because it's like, yeah, like, okay, that's kind of how this should work.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so Friday we basically went around and picked up stuff that I hadn't got to go pick up because people didn't show up when they said they were going to show up. That's about all we did, But I also realized that was a good thing to do. Number one, I actually needed to get that product, but number two, uh, getting her used to driving the van because it is a long cargo van, and
Right.
it's a cargo van, so it doesn't have side windows open like it's an SUV or something. It's a cargo van. So I think the way things went on Friday was good. Didn't
Hmm.
actually get around to filling any machines or anything, but got product picked up, etc. Today she shows up. I was like, hey, what about 6:30?
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted to go knock out a lot of stuff today. And she texts me and says, hey, I'm on the way. And she was here like 6:24, and we were on the road at 6:30, man. Like I
Wow.
was returning, dude. Uh, I was done with the entire rest area before 10 o'clock this morning.
Huh. Nice. And that's usually an all-day project for you.
It's not really an all day. It's just when people get here is, like, it
Uh-huh.
takes a while, but when it's also dependent on when people show up. Like if I want to go there at 7 in the morning and you don't show up to 9, well, like you just screwed up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep. Because then you can't plan or schedule things after when you should be back because you haven't even left by the time you're supposed to be back.
Right. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happens. So we went and did the rest there. And I wasn't, completely, I wasn't building everything up from scratch. Like everything wasn't empty. So that was one part of that being a little quicker. But before,
Right.
I'll say about 9:30, we were done with the entire rest area.
Hmm.
Came back to the storage, offloaded some stuff that we didn't need up there at the rest area, packed up and went to do, uh, post office. So basically, I
Hmm.
got 3 locations done, although I did visit the rest area twice because I realized on one side I didn't bring Pepsi because Pepsi doesn't usually sell out that quickly. So
Yeah.
I had to bring that back up there. But basically, she put in about a 10-hour day today, which was
Okay.
good. Like, we
Yeah.
didn't move as fast as I would like, but she is cautiously driving, which, honestly, under the current circumstances, I really appreciate.
Yeah.
She didn't flip anything over taking a curve, which is a routine thing that people do that drives me insane. And the reason is because stuff is fragile, right? Like
Hmm.
cans, first of all, will pop. Right?
Yeah.
You flip them off the top of something, they hit the floor, they will pop.
Yep.
So not only do I have a mess to clean up, but depending on how many cans you pop, like, I might end up breaking even off that case of sodas or whatever, or a case of Red Bulls, especially
Hmm.
Red Bulls. Red Bull is expensive. So I am cautiously optimistic that she'll work out. Now, she throws a monkey wrench in on me today. It's like, yeah, I think me and my daughter may be going out of town tomorrow and Monday, and I'll be back Tuesday. It's like, well, crap.
Man, get the, you get used to the nice things and then things get thrown off. So do you have a backup plan from Sunday, Monday, or not yet?
Well, Sunday is a off day anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, and Monday, I think I have a backup plan, but I also thought I had somebody that was going to take me to go do, I was going to drive so I could go do the university on Thursday.
Ah,
And basically, I ended up doing some AT guys work on Thursday. So tells you how that went.
yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is the same person that was supposed to show
Ah,
up on Thursday, which is why I'm not optimistic of them showing up on Monday as they're supposed to. And we'll have some offline chats about that particular individual because some suspicions of mine that I share with you have been more than confirmed at this point.
gotcha. Okay. Well, hopefully this one works out for you. And really, you can't be. I can't tell you how you can be. I couldn't be upset with them for saying, "Hey, my daughter and I are going out of town."
No, no,
Because
no.
guess
I'm not.
what?
I'm not upset
Guess what?
about that
She
at all.
told you. She didn't just
Right.
do it. She
Yeah.
told you.
No, no, I'm not screwed up about that at all in
Yeah.
any kind of way. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that kind of threw off my plans because I didn't, see that coming.
I
But
I
no,
like how
it'll
you
work out.
actually work, and I wanted to work with you.
Yeah, like I kind of want you to work Monday and
Hey,
Tuesday.
does your daughter need a job too? Oh.
Right. uh, I have, thinking about it, taking the approach, or I am now taking the approach of trying to actually build a team of people, and everybody's not going to be needed every day, but I
Yeah.
should have, though, and I've been trying to do that. It's just the people I've tried to do it with, they somehow end up not working out. But going into a new hire with that explanation, I think may potentially lead to more assistance. Because they know, okay, look, I'm still looking for this. Like, I'm not just telling, like, hey, okay, you got the job and you're going to work every day, Monday through Friday. We can make that work.
Hmm.
The nice thing about this lady, she doesn't actually have another job. Like, she was Ubering. And like, she's like, oh, well, you actually have enough for me to work every day during the week. And I was like, yeah. She's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that means less Ubering. And she was also a little ticked off about the Uber rate cuts for drivers. So she's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
this means less Ubering. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, this should work.
Um, I think it's interesting that we come back to Uber drivers because we had this conversation last summer, I think,
Yeah, we did.
about
Only
tapping
thing is,
into,
I don't take a lot of Ubers or Lyfts here in Tuscaloosa just because they are so overpriced in my opinion.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
But I have been on the lookout for that. I've been on the lookout for when I've taken, the occasional Uber or Lyft or whatever. And just so happens because it is physical therapy thing, like I gotta get away there and get away back. So that's you know making me take trips that I normally wouldn't have to take, and the only way to get there is a Uber or Lyft. And
Hmm.
apparently Uber is going to be about $10 cheaper than Lyft. So yeah, we're going to run that.
Yep. You
So
still have
still
Uber
got a few
One.
more weeks of that. So hopefully I'll encounter somebody else that is friendly and interested in working.
That would be nice. You still pay for Uber One?
No, but so I canceled my Uber one, and then they gave me like some kind of, I don't remember the actual terms of the deal, but like I don't know, it was like $5 or something, like something stupid for like the next 3 months. I was like, sure, because I was trying to cover myself for a convention.
If you cancel Uber One, did you have any cash back saved up in Uber?
No,
Okay. I've got like $1.95 in there.
yeah, Uber Cash is crap. Like I don't care about it. Because I don't do anything. What I'm waiting for is for my actual Uber One subscription to expire so I can see if I can use the Apple Card to then get 6 months of Uber One for free.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
However, yeah, they're doing the same thing that Capital One did like last year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Apple Card, Apple, and well, the Apple Card and Uber. I should actually go and check to see if if I'm getting refunded or whatever the cost of her Uber One subscription, because we did hers first because she didn't have Uber One.
Mm.
So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully that turns into something else. You know, otherwise, I'm looking forward to getting back to programming, man. We got to build a website for technically working, and I am low key very excited about doing such a thing. I just
Hmm.
need stuff to stop getting shaken up over here.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about some website work because hold on. Um, there's a website that I think there's a place for it and I need to figure out where that place is, but it's been around for a while and it's not currently around and I still pay for the domain name, so got to figure that out. What I want to do with that.
Wait, are you leaving this in the show?
We can edit it out. I'm talking about your own pay.
I know. I know what you were talking about. I was asking, are you leaving it in the show? I was like, for people listening, Mike is talking about your own paper because I haven't went and grabbed his backups and put them back on the server. Because
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know what I want to do with it. That's the problem. But it's got a lot of data. That's for sure.
so my tentative plan was at least to put the backup back in place and get the
Yeah.
site back up. It would resume doing what it was doing and then figure it out from there.
So what I thought about doing is just installing a plain version of WordPress, right? And then using Podcast Importer by Second Line Themes or ChatGPT create me one.
Oh man, I
Uh,
already got a plugin for you. I can send you mine right now. Like it should
but
work, or you could troubleshoot it. And actually, I'll put it in GitHub and then share it with you.
there you go. Yeah, you should do that. But then suck in all of the episode because really all it was episodic content, and I have all of those still in Pinecast. So really, I wouldn't even need the backups because it's not like I was using it to do hardly anything else. So
Yeah, you had some blog content on there you had from you.
yeah, I guess I did, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Although using WP Migrate DP Pro or whatever they call it now, anyway, we could pull just that stuff back into a new site also.
Yeah. I mean, either way. But I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, so it hasn't been a high priority. So I haven't actually called you to say, "Hey, what do we need to do to get this backup up and running?" And that site was so bloated. There was a
So
lot
I'm
of stuff on
honestly,
there.
to be honest with you, like I'm more on board with the just start a fresh install, do the podcast import thing, and then just retrieve the posts that you were published that were
Hmm.
just blog posts back into the site. Because yeah, it was super bloated because it was kind of like what Damashe.org was for me before I took that site down.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Which
You
was
test
like, oh,
everything.
there's a new plugin.
Yep.
Or there's a plugin that let me try this, and then like you forget about it, and then
Yep.
you wonder like, what the heck is this plugin? What does this do? I don't have three plugins to do the same thing, and they're all active.
Yep. Yep. And then you go delete them, and then they don't clean up after themselves. And then after 5, 6 years of that, there's a lot of random data because we
A lot of
we
random
talked about
databases.
cleaning up the database, and yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is that
Maybe we play with
database?
MU.
I gotta find that plugin. Name. I will have the bot will tweet out just. No, that's not what the bot will do at all.
Someone said, I was listening to the Bits AI course. I was doing some editing, and Clint on there goes, "Can I tell you guys something? You're not going to go tweet it out. I mean, X it out." And I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's yeah, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the bot will post a link to a plugin that people should. If you're a WordPress developer, site builder, or even admin, you should maybe look at. Um, and I don't remember the name of it. Here's the reason I'm not telling you right now. But
Right.
it does reveal all of your database tables into say maybe those 70, 75% degree of accuracy can reveal what plugins certain tables are attached to.
Mm, mm,
So you know if it's safe to delete that table or not, because no, I still use Gravity Forms. Don't delete that.
right.
I haven't used Ninja Forms in years. Yeah, just get rid of
Delete
all
all
of
of that.
those.
I don't want to see it anymore.
So, in deference to Marty, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this episode up. We appreciate everybody for listening. What's up, Marty? I ain't talked to Marty in a long time. Uh,
I talked
you
to him the
can
other
send us
day.
email if you have questions, feedback, comments, uh, feedback at technicallyworking.show. You can find him on Mastodon. He's Payon, Payown, at dragonscave.space. I am Damashe, Damashe at technically.social. And follow that bot, TW at technically.social. And if you're on Mastodon, use the hashtag technically working to interact with us for sure. And we appreciate it if you capitalize the T and the W. We've already thanked the tip jar supporters. I want to genuinely thank everybody who listens to our show. And the best thing you can do, even if you're not interested in being a tip jar supporter and supporting us financially, is just share the show, talk about it, tell people about things we talked about, or just the other great thing you could do is just interact with us. Like send us an email if you got questions, comments, um, tips, anything like that. We appreciate it.
And you can also share those tips, comments, and questions on social and link to the episode that you're talking about, because that inadvertently shares the content with people who might also enjoy the content as well.
Yep. And we're on YouTube. So if you want to go, make one of those little cool YouTube clips of something that we said, if your podcast player doesn't support such a feature, um, do so.
Tell us
Appreciate it. This
why
has
you
been.
listen to podcasts on YouTube, because I still am curious.
Hey, touch that can of worms. Thanks. This has been Technically Working episode 121.
I'm glad you keep track of the numbers because I always
Yeah, I
forget.
say that I was about to say, I say that with so much certainty, and I'm 98% sure I'm right.